is 9:40 in the morning, Thursday, September 18th. And this is how our shop is looking. Now, thank God I have a few inspections to do, so I'm going to stay busy today. I have like 14 government vehicles I have to do. But you can't tell me this isn't a government recession. Like,
the economy is doing some weird stuff. Stock market just keeps going up, but jobs keep getting cut. We've seen layoff after layoff, news article after news article. We're going to break into it. There's some really weird dynamics to this, and we got to watch some of these videos. Things are empty everywhere. Restaurants are empty. People are complaining in the comment section. Things have just gotten too expensive to go out and do. Check this one out.
I mean, as you can see, we're so busy. We have so many cars in here right now. 9:30 in the morning. We should be packed. We should at least have oil changes. We should have something. And before the people start commenting that, well, you know, shops charge too much money. Our shop doesn't. We actually charge a lot less than we should to make good margins and actually make money. So we actually undercharge a whole lot at this shop, and we still don't have business. We are probably the cheapest shop in our area compared to all the other shops. Our labor is only $135. Other shops are like $150, $160, $180. Dealerships are like $200. And we do decent work. We do good work on cars. We never have complaints. We never have people come back. We never have returns. This is how our shop looks. This has got to be the beginning of the middle of a recession, and probably the beginning of a depression. I've been here 6 months. I have not seen it this bad. And it's been like this for the last probably week and a half, 2 weeks. So what's gives? What's going on? Why is nobody coming in? If you guys are doing work on your own vehicles, respect. I respect that. I work on my own vehicle. You save a lot of money that way, but the people who can't afford to work on their own vehicles and they have to bring it to a shop, they're not even here. I think we're cooked.
I don't care what anyone says. We are 1,000,000% in a recession due to the fact that Facebook Marketplace has been popping off lately. Like, people are selling their treasures that they've had in their basement or their garage because they need money.
So there's a pretty good financial indicator out there called the used car market. And the used car market is a good financial indicator of how your country is doing because it means that people have liquid capital. If you have liquid capital, you can buy a used car cash because most used car sales are going to be cash purchases. So if used cars are selling well, probably doing pretty good. People have liquid capital. They're able to buy whatever they want. They don't feel stressed about the future. They're buying and selling things at leisure. If the used car market is bad, then people do not have liquid capital. They do not feel secure about the future, and they're hoarding whatever liquid capital that they do have. And right now, the used car market is tanked. It's tanked. No one is buying or selling anything, especially the cash purchases. So, not a very good indicator for us as a country or our economy. Either people have no money to spend or they are incredibly insecure about their future. And either way is not good. So we're going to see how this plays out in the coming months. But I don't see that trend ending.
I am sitting in my car and I'm just basically trying to plan out my next moves because I can't stay here. I have to be out of the place that I'm in currently in 2 days. And I don't know what I'm going to do next. I have been trying as hard as I can to try to find out what the next steps are going to be. But to be perfectly honest, I got nothing. I'm starting to lose hope. I'm starting to lose faith. It's starting to feel like I don't know what to do. I'm like, I can't stop crying. I can't stop panicking. My panic attacks won't start. And now they're starting in my sleep again because this is a hopeless situation. And as positive as I want to be about this, the world is burning and I don't have no degree. I don't really have any good job experience. The job experience I have hasn't gotten anything. I've been putting in applications. Nothing is being done. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I am legitimately scared. like scared out of my experience. The job experience I have hasn't gotten anything. I've been putting in applications. Nothing is positive as I want to be. I'm like, I can't stop crying. I'm starting to lose faith. It's starting to feel like I don't know what to do. I'm like, I can't stop crying. I can't stop panicking. My panic attacks won't start. And now they're starting in my sleep again because this is a hopeless situation. And as positive as I want to be about this, the world is burning and I don't have no degree. I don't really have any good job experience. The job experience I have hasn't gotten anything. I've been putting in applications. Nothing is being done. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I am legitly scared. Like scared out of my wits because I'm going to be sleeping in my car, living in my car. And I don't even know where that's going to be because eventually this is not going to work anymore. What do I do? What am I supposed to do?
The average American has less than $1,000 in a savings account, and they're like one paycheck away from bankruptcy at any moment. And this is kind of an echo of what he's saying, that used car market, lots of cash, you're going to buy with cash, and it's usually a liquidity indicator. But we'll see in the next video about the Big Mac indicator. The cost of a Big Mac is going up all over the place. It's like an indicator of inflation. I said the other day that between housing outlets, Romex wire that goes into your house, the dollar menu, the price of a number 6 at Taco Bell, these things that we see every day have gone up so much that we know inflation is more than what we are seeing, and the economy is not as good as we are thinking. This next guy, wrap your head around this. I've been thinking about this for a very long time to get my head wrapped around it, and he kind of nails it.
Let's spend a few minutes understanding why gold, Bitcoin, and the stock market are all hitting record highs when jobs are going away. Typically, when you see something like jobs not coming in showing that more people are working, you don't see gold, Bitcoin, and stocks all rising together. That doesn't make sense, right? Because people are unemployed. Also, typically gold and Bitcoin, those are considered what we call safe haven assets. It's where people go when they're worried about things. Whereas stocks are usually where people invest when they're like thinking that things are all right. So why would it be that the safe assets and also stocks are all going up at the same time? This is a new and weird thing. And then also, as all these things go to all-time highs, you see that the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates. So what that means is that the Federal Reserve is making it cheaper for banks to borrow money from them, which means that it stimulates the economy. So usually you see interest rate cuts when the economy isn't doing well because the interest rate cutting is a tool to stimulate growth. So why would you stimulate growth when things are at an all-time high? It's because all these governments around the world are getting into huge debt. Here's EU, even though they're already in a lot of debt, looking to borrow more money. The UK, they're borrowing more money. The US continues to borrow money, even though the UK debt is super duper high. Here's the US debt, up and up and up. Here's the EU debt, the blue line is the average in the middle, up and up and up. Same thing in Japan, up and up and up. All these democracies have their debt surging all at the same time. Meanwhile, anytime the democracies try to do anything to curb the debt, meaning like lower the amount they spend, you get these huge protests. Like in France, where they tried to raise the retirement age by, I think, 2 years. They started burning the city in Paris. So politicians keep on extending things like benefits and getting the countries more into debt. Here's the UK. They keep on expanding the benefit system, even though the politicians know it's unaffordable. In the US, same thing. That's what we call entitlements. These are things like social welfare programs, social security benefits, Medicare, Medicaid. But nobody wants to cut these because voters don't want to vote to give themselves less. So as all these countries borrow and borrow and borrow, what you see is everything gets more expensive. That's inflation, right? And there's this cool idea called the Big Mac Index that was created by economists a long time ago. And what it does is they go and they see what the price of a Big Mac is in places all over the world, because it's a good way to kind of see, are prices really rising? And then if you look at the price of a Big Mac Yep. So then what happens is companies start to raise prices because inflation. Their dollars that are coming into them are worth less. So here's Disney raising streaming prices, beef prices. Of course, everything is going up and up and up in price. So what's really happening here is actually not that the stock markets are going up because they're connected to the economy, gold, Bitcoin. It's because the dollar is dropping in value. Because as you print more and more and more dollars, it's like anything, it becomes less valuable. So what's going to happen is all these stock markets are going to continue to go up, even though the jobs are down. Because what's happening is all of these assets, as you can call Bitcoin, gold, stocks, all those assets are going to keep going up and up and up because people who have savings realize that if they keep their savings in their savings account, it's just going to lose money. They have to put those into things like stocks and gold and Bitcoin that are going to go up and up and up as all these governments print more and more and more money, or else the value of their savings is just going to drop relative to the world around them. So it's kind of a weird time because all of these stock markets, gold, Bitcoin, all that stuff is going up, even though there are more and more people who are out of work. It's a totally unique time, at least from my investing career, seeing the way that the economy is working.
He's spot on. And it took me a long time to get my head wrapped around this. The great melt up is what they're calling. It's like a reverse bubble to where everything will just keep going up. Real estate, assets as far as stocks, gold, Bitcoin, it just keeps going up and to the right. And I always said that the S&P 500 was a high waterline of inflation. But what we're seeing is they're printing so much money because they know the moment they stop entitlements that they'll get voted out of office. Politicians don't want things to crash because that's how they lose their jobs. So they're like, if we just keep printing money, we're all good. Everybody's happy. We keep giving the mob their sports and their food, and we keep printing more money to allow them to buy it, and we keep making interest rates very low so they can go and get their cars, and they can do all these things. Everybody's happy. But the problem with that is that's how dumb things get voted into existence. That's how we keep running into these problems. And people will just vote themselves a raise if they can. Same way with politicians doing it every time. They always vote themselves a raise. And when the government's shut down, they still get paid. All these things are tied together, and we're seeing everything getting more expensive. The middle class is becoming watered right out of the middle class is just getting wasted away, and we're seeing it before our eyes. And we've got to do something about this. We got to hold these politicians accountable and talk to them and say, hey, look, we're going to vote another way if you don't change your way.
We're going to see a massive increase in multi-family homes where kids are moving back home or older parents are moving in with their kids. It's going to be rampant over the next 3.5 years with the way this economy is going to get destroyed, the way the housing market is going to get destroyed, the way that medical bills are going to cripple people in financial bankruptcy, the way student loans and education is going to be unobtainable to pay for people. I mean, it's already been happening over the last several years. It's going to rapidly increase. And my wife and I are fully prepared for that to happen to our kids as they are going out and trying to even find work. Any kind of work in this country is nearly impossible for young people because most of these places are hiring older people who also need to work now because they can't retire. They can't live on their Social Security. They can't live on their pensions. And they would much prefer to hire an old person who they believe will be more, stable or predictable or whatever. It's a nightmare. We are supposed to live and die and work and be productive. And that's it. That's all the power structures in this country want.
I mean, we're seeing the rise of people living in their cars full time now. Walmart parking lots. You can go to the west side of Pensacola right now and see a whole tent city. It's becoming a thing. Homeless just everywhere. The fentanyl is everywhere. There seems to be no end to the drugs spilling into many places. And then the burglaries, the shootings, everything is going on. It's like, is nobody paying attention? I want to know your thoughts, comments down below. Like, what exactly are we going through? And will this end or just keep getting worse?
How's everybody surviving? I get paid bi-weekly, and we are a family of 4. We have 2 kids. How are y'all surviving? Because I'm not. I got paid today, and it's gone. Goes toward the mortgage, cell phone bill, gas and electric, garbage, everything, gone. Between insurance, car insurance between my husband and I, everything, gone. And then I have to go to the grocery store. This isn't even factoring in groceries for a family of fucking 4. So imagine how it's like every month. It's like, do we go do a big load haul of groceries or do we pay our mortgage? Like I can't do both. And my husband works 50 hours a week. I work 40 hours a week. We can't do both. So like, how are you doing it? The people that don't have kids are barely surviving. I am not surviving. And I get paid bi-weekly. And people are like, oh, getting paid bi-weekly is so much better because then when you get paid more. No, it doesn't matter because all my bills get taken out at the same every month. I've tried to change it till the end of the month. It still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you have your bills taken out. Your money is gone. There's nothing you can do. You just have to ride on this floating rock and spend, $150 on 4 products at the grocery store. I can't. I literally cannot. I don't know how people do it. And unless you're a rich elite, so I hope everybody on this floating rock screams like I do, and we can all scream together because I just don't collectively know how I can continue on with a recession. I've lived through one recession. I physically can't do it now. And you can call me dramatic. I don't really give. I'm going to crash out. I cannot survive like this. I can't.
I mean, this seems to be the story across the board. I can't afford it, paycheck to paycheck, food prices are so expensive, and then where do I sleep at night? If you didn't buy a house 5 years ago, most of the houses have gotten too expensive for most people to own one. It is wild.
What's going to happen when people don't have enough money to live? I mean, literally to afford the basic necessities like food, water, gas in the car. The minimum wage hasn't been raised in 20 years, and the prices of everything are going up exponentially. Housing especially. They're trying to criminalize homelessness right now because pretty soon it's going to be a common crime.
Well, AI is taking so many jobs, and if they don't come in with some type of welfare system that give people a minimum amount of allotment to survive, I don't know what the answer is. Maybe that's where we're getting now, that the government is going to have to subsidize people living that aren't able to compete in the market. And then what about those that work themselves to a frazzle trying to compete in the market? This is a very interesting time. I feel like we're in Atlas Shrugged, and I don't know how it's going to pan out. And I know that AI is about to check the block on a lot of lower tier jobs. Anything that's repetitive, it's smarter, faster, and doesn't make mistakes for the most part. And give it another 5 years.
I believe in full transparency. I'm not going to sugarcoat or lie about anything. I'm going to be completely real on this page. I'm struggling, bruh. I've been looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. I have a baby. We need that second room. And nothing goes for less than $2,500 a month. How are some of you guys doing it? How? With car insurance, car payments, rent, gas, and a few other things, how are you guys making it through? I'm barely just making it by, and I have a pretty decent job. I got paid pretty well to hold the family. But $2,500 a month? Are these people going crazy? And now I'm looking at actual not apartment buildings or luxury apartments. I'm looking for people who own duplexes and have multifamily homes. They're charging the same thing, and the apartment's beat up. What's wrong with people? It's not your mortgage went up because you guys have been paying it off since you bought it 40 years ago. You guys are just being greedy. Oh, I'm doing it just because everybody else is doing it. You're gonna have to kick people out because they can't pay you. Don't make sense to me.
People are really...
I mean, he is just trying to vent. And, you know, it seems like everybody vents against the landlord. As somebody that's been a landlord, it's extremely hard to be a landlord. Yeah, your mortgage interest rate didn't go up, but your taxes did, your insurance did, your lawyer did, your litigation defense did, the accounting, the taxes. Like, to file a K-1 on an LLC with a multi-member with 5 or 6 properties, like, you have to pay per tax return on all those, and you have to pay per hour for the accountant to do it, plus bookkeeping and all these things. It is crazy expensive now to operate a portfolio of real estate. Not to mention the maintenance man went up, the contractors went up, the roofer, the refrigerators, the appliances, everything has gone up, and there's a monthly wear and tear on those things. $1 per square foot per year on a piece of property is usually going to be your maintenance cost, no matter what. And then you got vacancy, you've got evictions, you've got all these things that make it, for me, not worth it anymore. And the only reason why we have housing in America is the government incentivizes investors to create housing. And if there's no money to be made, well, there's no housing. And I don't know how they're going to fix that other than giving tax incentives, which there again, you've got the rich housing the poor. And here's where we are. I want to know your thoughts down below.
I'm trying to enjoy my last days within this unit that I've been renting for so long. Really sad that I have to leave because they decided to raise my rent $700. And I already pay $2,300 without parking fees, which is $185, and plus utilities. So I'm paying $2,600 a month, and they still decided to raise my rent for another $700. So they want me to pay now $3,000 base rent. Are you kidding me?
But that's all I got, everybody. I thought this was a very interesting one. Things being empty. The amount of unemployment is starting to go up. They're lowering interest rates just to keep this thing afloat. And what happens when all the arrows are gone out of the quiver? Interest rates going low is the arrow in the quiver to fix the problem. But if you are fixing it at 2 and 3% interest rates on a lot of these mortgages, you know, getting, you know, short-term, long-term debt, you're just going to create more inflation because the money's cheaper. They're throwing it back out there. Houses are going to go up. Stocks are going to go up. And I think a lot of people are running to some type of safety equation. And that's why we see these assets keep going up. And I've been asking myself this question for a very long time. What do I do? You know, I keep waiting for a pullback, and I don't know if we're going to see one. It's just going to keep drifting up, and that's scary. But that's all I got, everybody. I thought this was a very interesting rabbit hole. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below, and if you're looking for a real estate agent anywhere in the country, I can help you. And if you're looking to buy or sell on the Gulf Coast of Florida, Alabama, my email is down below, and I can help you do that. I'll see you guys on the next video.